Hello America, I'm Richard Dixon, your host of AmericanVotingShow.com, where you, the viewing audience, get to weigh your decisions on a topic we're about to discuss today. On your screen below, you see the national deficit $16+ trillion and the wheel still keeps turning this way. Without any further delay, let's just dive right into show number 5. On today's show, we're going to be talking about the war against drugs. In the 1970s, President Richard Nixon, again, not Richard Dixon, but Richard Nixon, implemented a fight against drugs, war against drugs, and thus so far, we're officially over $1 trillion. Yes, 1 trillion with the T, dollars, into spending on war against drugs. And the sad fact is, we're losing this battle. Did you know that marijuana, otherwise the street name is grass, weed, pot, whatever, is $113 billion with the B industry a year in this country? So my first thoughts are, why should we let people trafficking marijuana walk scot-free of not paying any taxes on $113 billion of revenue? So if it were a legal product per se, we would tax it. And I believe first things, from people that grow the plants to the plants that manufacture the goods, distribute it and sell it, we could be raising tax revenues of that $113 billion. The second part of my thoughts are this. We have legalized alcohol, cigarettes, which those two combined are probably killing more people than I care to mention. Yet this topic of marijuana comes into play, and all of a sudden it's not looked in the same light. So my thoughts are this: if you're going to illegalize marijuana for sake of, then marijuana, alcohol, tobacco, it should fall in the same category. Just recently, check out this link below, 2 states here in the United States, Washington and Colorado, have legalized marijuana for recreational purposes. A good deal, because again, I believe in freedom. As far as I'm concerned, if you're going to legalize cigarettes and alcohol, which is detrimental to a lot of people's health, and it's killed more people in car wrecks and just bad health, then there's nothing that should be holding back safe use of marijuana. Understand something. I, myself, this show today is not about for me saying marijuana should be legalized in all 50 states, be as it may, but more so what I believe is this war against drug and its measures, now $1 trillion that we've spent so far since inception. I'm not for that. I'm for whatever is more reasonable, rational thinking, and we should be thinking that way in the 21st century. As I said earlier in the show, there should be 2 categories of drugs: lethal or non-lethal. And really, to be honest with you, this will be another future coming show. All these things should be based on coherency more so than the substance. But getting back to what I was saying, we have so many people in the U.S. prison system, which, by the way, our tax dollars are paying for, that are overcrowded. And a lot of these prisoners are in here for marijuana charges. Now, here's the problem, okay? When people serve time and they get out of prison, okay, they still have this F, which is felony charges, marked literally stamped on their foreheads. It's hard for those people to go back into society to find gainful employment. Let's face it, national unemployment is as high as it is. People with college degrees are having a hard time finding a job. So what do you think the chances are of these people out of prison system finding something to do? So again, since we're not solving the problem, these people go back. They can't make enough money flipping burgers or frying chicken. So guess what they do? They go back into the system of selling marijuana or whatever they were doing. That's the vicious cycle. This is why we spent $1 trillion so far and gained nothing, because no one's solving and curing the problem to make it end. Now, again, my thoughts are these people in prison system that are released with minor drug charges like marijuana should be released back in society with somewhat of a clean, clear, pardoned record. That way they can find gainful employment. And again, contribute to society, find gainful employment, and pay taxes to help some of this deficit problem we've got. The repeat offender, if we don't do something to solve it, they will be repeat offenders. I don't know about you folks, but every time I turn TV on, I see these drug commercials put up by these pharmaceutical companies. And the side effects alone enough to terrify you. I mean, I'd rather just have the ailment and just deal with it. And again, as you know, some of these pharmaceutical companies put out drugs that have hurt and actually kill people, okay? Where are the charges against those people? Why aren't they behind bars? We've got all these people in prison. So, I mean, this whole matter is really stressing me out. I feel like taking these, by the way, folks, these are vitamins, relax. But it does stress me out, so I went out to you, America, to see what your thoughts were. How do you feel about our federal government's war against drugs now that it's costed over $1 trillion of taxpayer money? Do you feel like marijuana should be legalized in all 50 states for recreational purposes? Well, again, here's my thoughts. There's a CNN article, that's a helpful link below, that one of the people said that, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing every day and expecting different results. And that's kind of what I think about this war on debt. But really, in order to make change, we have to change the format, the methodology of how to stop this, war against drugs or drug abuse itself. I believe that in order to make it cease or minimize, it has to be done from within. And what I mean by that is that, okay, there's a song that I think of, sang about Miss Whitney Houston, and unfortunately she passed away from some drug issues, but nevertheless the point is very clear. I believe that children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Teach them a sense of pride. Now what that means, what I gather from that is, it's not just talking about drugs, it's having pride as a person, as a citizen, not to damage your body or, teen pregnancy. That's going to be another future show. We need to teach younger people, mold them. And again, it doesn't take a government office to do that. No, it takes parents. Sit your children down, teach them the core basics. Give them a sense of pride where they themselves choose not to damage themselves, drugs or otherwise. That's how the beginning process of how we are going to win the war against drugs. Okay, America, today we're voting on a two-part vote. Number one, should marijuana be legalized in all 50 states for recreational purposes? Vote yes or vote no. And second part of our vote is, should we pardon the prisoners of non-lethal drug crimes such as marijuana? Vote yes or vote no. I need your vote. Okay, I'm going to skip the song this time again, but you know what to do. And by the way, if you have some other ideas of shows that I should be covering on this show in the near future, kindly send me an email and I'll respond. But until then, take care, and I will see you again on AmericanVotingShow.com.